episode of Quick Dish with me, Renee. This is a series where I'm going to teach you to make some really easy, delicious, simple meals. Before we get started today, I want to tell you pretty much my two mantras of cooking. One is that recipes are suggestions, unless they're chemistry. And two, that things don't have to be perfect as long as they're tasty. So don't worry if you have happy little accidents. Don't worry if everything isn't 100% as you planned. That's okay. So today we're going to be making one of my favorite breakfast dishes, which is a savory French toast. This is my garlic Parmesan French toast, though we're actually going to be using Pecorino Romano. And I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so this is something warm and savory and fun and easy to eat that just brings me joy at the start of the day. So I hope you can enjoy this dish as well. Let's get on the cooking cam here. All right. Let me adjust in the angle here. Does this seem appropriate? I think so. Let's see. Here's a pan. Yeah, that looks about right. Cool. So what we're going to do to start this dish is have some bread. This is not an ideal loaf for French toast just because it's really crumbly, so it's going to fall apart a bit. This is just an old sourdough that I got on sale from the local store. And I always do my French toast, almost always do my French toast in cubes because I feel like, one, it is way easier to eat, and two, you get like more of that nice Maillard reaction where you're getting that browning on the outside, and that is the best part of almost any dish. So I realize I don't have the best knife technique. I'll try to discourage you from cutting your fingers. So as you can see here, this bread is kind of falling apart even with this mild cutting. So that's why it's not really perfect. It's gonna be a little small. That's all right. So what we're gonna do is pretty much just make our little egg batter, soak these in it for about a minute or two. We'll see how the egg soaks up, and then just cook it on the stovetop. It's pretty straightforward. So let's find some eggs. Don't mind my messy refrigerator. And with this many, we'll start with 2 eggs. I also have some egg white in the fridge, so if it looks like we're low, I can just toss some egg white in here. And I also have some Boss coffee, which I am certainly going to consume. Cool. That's good. Cool. Eggs, attentive dog. Hello, dog. And let's toss some milk in there. Milk just helps it soak in. When you're doing scrambled eggs, of course, it makes things fluffier. Don't put in a ton of milk, just a little splash. Yeah, that's good. And now we're gonna spice this up. I'm realizing I should have done the garlic before this bread. That's all right, I'll just scoot you over here. I'm pretty lazy. So when you start a head of garlic, I recommend starting it over your trash can. You get this nice little top thing here, and you just crack that off. And then if you push down along the sides like this, you can get most of that annoying paper into the trash can and not all over your cutting board and the garlic that you're trying to cut. Obviously, it's still gonna happen to some extent. Of course, if you're in an area that has compost, unlike mine, yeah, throw this in your compost bin. It's better for the environment. All right, so let's, ooh, that's a big head. Let's get one or two of these. Yeah. I really like garlic, but these are giant. Yeah, it'll be fine. Ow, screw it. Not gonna hurt too much to have extra. All right, so we're gonna get the handy dandy chef knife. And since we're gonna be cutting this up, it doesn't matter if they are squished to death. So just give them a nice little smack. See that beautiful paper comes off. Make sure you're getting the bits on your cutting board off your cutting board so you're not getting them into your meal. A little bit of extra fiber is not the worst thing, but some people will complain. Just like they're gonna complain that I always leave my hair down, so people get little hair treats. Even if I put my hair up, it still happens, so oh well. All right, well, that's a thick chunk of paper. Oops. All right, give this another little smack here. There, yeah, I just wrecked it. Okay. So now that we have this garlic paper-free, I cut off that icky end there. It just did not look good. We're going to mince it all up. That's fine. It doesn't really matter if you mince it super fine or not, because it's really getting these garlic oils and juices out that we're aiming for here. Not a ton of it's going to stick to the bread itself unless you have better bread with nice big holes, and you can mince it fine and get some garlic and pecorino actually sticking in there. But for us here, this is just going to be getting the garlic flavor and not letting the dog eat the garlic pieces. Oh, look at a good girl. Garlic's flying everywhere. I'll do one more cut across here and then that should be fine. Great. And you can just toss this right in the bowl with the rest of the stuff. So this next step is really up to you in terms of how you want to flavor it. I thankfully have an entire herb garden inside my kitchen. So this is rosemary, lemon thyme, not gonna recommend that, normal thyme, and oregano. Let's do a little bit of thyme. It's obviously been winter, you can tell by how far apart the leaves are, but we can just grab some bits here. Fresh herbs tend to be quite potent. I know that some people say that dried herbs are, I guess, on a per volume basis, they are, but on a per leaf basis, you're gonna find these fresh herbs are gonna impart way more flavor. We just need a little bit. If you notice, I'm going for all of the new growth. That's gonna be better for your plants. Gonna make them happier, grow more back. And if you don't have fresh, having dried herbs is 100% fine. No problem at all. I tend to put a ton of herbs in the stuff that I make, so if this seems like a lot to you, just tune it to your tastes and preferences. Yeah, it should be good. So we're just gonna go back over here. With the herbs with the harder stems, just depends on how long it's grown. You can just pull down and it'll just there we go. And again, not a ton of this is actually going to stick, so you don't have to worry about it too much, but the finer you get it, the more will. Let's get that rosemary. There we go. And withers right back in there. Yay! All right, now on to the final flavoring. I'm gonna just go with salt and pepper because who doesn't appreciate both? I'm gonna be putting in Pecorino Romano as well, which is salty. So I'm just gonna put in like a little bit of salt there. And of course I'll be topping it with cheese as well. I like cheese. Where are you, Pecorino? There you are. Hello, Sheikah. So Pecorino Romano is very close to Parmesan Romano. It's a nice, hard, salty cheese. I just buy this at Costco, so I find it pretty easy to acquire. And we're just going to take a microplane here. And it's okay if you don't have this. If you want to use that weird craft green stuff from a bottle, I can't say I recommend it, but hey, it gets you some cheesy, salty flavor. I don't know if I'd consider it cheese, but that's me. Now we're just gonna mix this up. There you go. You can see it's kind of sludgy here. I might add a little of that egg white. Let's see. This bread's actually gonna be really, really absorbent. So adding a little extra egg white is not gonna be the worst thing. There we go. Yeah. You can see that's a lot of the less thick texture. Tilting the bowl like this certainly helps when you're stirring. All right, I'm gonna just toss that in the sink. Okay, now throw your bread in. We're gonna give this one quick stir. Yeah, you can see it's already soaking up a ton of that. All right. So really, I like letting it soak for as long as it can without actually completely falling apart. And the reason we're giving it a stir here is just to get it coated, so it'll be soaking in from all sides. If you just leave it in the bowl, only one side's gonna soak up that stuff, and you'll get dry on one side, soggy on the other. We're gonna turn our stove on here. We're actually gonna turn it a little low, so medium low. And I usually like cooking at a higher temperature, but since we have cubes here, we wanna make sure that we're getting heat all the way into the middle to cook all that egg. No raw egg in the middle. And we're going to make use of some nice butter today. This is Kerrygold Irish butter. European butters in general have higher fat content. It's only by a few percentage compared to standard United States butter. But this is also just really nice high quality butter. I shouldn't use that much. All right, we'll just do that. You can tell by the yellow tint that this has been like grass-fed beef, I believe, cows. Cool. Just pop that right back in there, shove it to the side. And we're gonna roll this around the pan a bit. I'd only just turned on the pan now, so we're gonna let this melt for a second and we'll check out this. How are you doing? Look at that, that's soaked up real fast. And don't worry if you don't get it all soaking in. It's pretty much impossible to. With this bread here, I can tell it's already getting pretty soft, so it might fall apart. Oh yeah, look at that. Lost a bit of it. Now, I like using tongs for handling this. You can use chopsticks or whatever is your favorite cooking implement. My favorite tongs are in the dishwasher. I really like these nice little ones. Makes me feel much more dexterous. One problem with them though is you definitely burn yourself when you're working with hot stuff that's splattering oil. All right, there we go. Nice tongs. Might as well get this too while we're at it, huh? Cleaning while you go will make your life much easier, particularly if you're cooking alone or just cooking for yourself. All right, so we have tongs ready to go. We have a nice buttery pan ready to go, and we have our French toast bites ready to go. So the pecorino that's in here is just going to kind of caramelize on the outside, but we will be topping it with more. And another reason to keep the temperature low here is when garlic burns, it gets really, really bitter. So try not to burn your garlic whenever you can. Do not burn your garlic. It will taste awful. That's actually one of the nice things about powdered garlic. Certainly does not have the same deep, earthy, rich flavor as fresh garlic, but a lot harder to burn. So if you're unsure with your cooking, go for it. Just use some powdered garlic. Again, you don't have to be perfect. It just has to taste good, right? So work with what you have. If you want to use minced garlic from a jar, it's really going to taste a little more acidic. Definitely, they have it pretty acidic in there. That's how it preserves. And when you cut garlic, it starts to dissipate that wonderful garlic flavor pretty quickly. But hey, minced garlic is totally fine. I grew up with my parents using minced garlic, pre-minced garlic for pretty much everything. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna barely fit this all in here. Oh, that side didn't get wet. Let's get in there. Cool. All right. Like I said, don't worry about your leftover stuff here. It's done its duty. If you want, you can throw that in a pan and have some very flavorful stuff afterwards. At this point, we're just keeping it low and slow, and then we'll be turning it pretty much as many times as you can just to get each side. So that'd be 6 sides on a cube, but not all of this is cube stuff, so don't sweat it too much. Let's prep a nice plate to put this on. I'll get my fancy plates out. Cool. And then let's go super fancy. Let's look at getting some herb decor for the top. How does that sound? We're gonna really make it look like we're living high on the hog here. Yeah, let's get this nice bit of rosemary and a little sprig of, yeah, there we go. Just put that on the side. Act like we're real fancy people. Totally recommend topping this with fresh chopped herbs as well if you'd like. I like putting the herbs in early and letting the flavor get into that sauce and penetrate into the French toast itself. But why not do both? You can use dry herbs for this section and put fresh herbs on top, or you can do both. A lot more herbs and garlic actually stuck to this than I was expecting, which is great. Well, might as well clean while we're doing this, huh? Ooh, that's hot. All right, checking on this. Yeah, we're starting to get that nice browning there. We'll just give this a little turn. That's going to be on the outside here, so it's going to be cooking slower than the rest. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. It smells really good too. Yeah, that's a real floppy one. Don't be afraid to use them to prop each other up. Like, if you got one that doesn't want to stay on its side, feel free to like throw it against the edge of a pan. Like this. Here we go. Prop it up there. Or on one of the other pieces. Yeah, this is fragrant. Very good fragrant. If you get two that are stuck together with the batter, just give it a little twist there. It'll pop off. So one of the tricks with sweet French toast is to put a little sugar in with all the other stuff you're doing, and it'll caramelize as you're cooking it. But this, with the cheese actually does that little reaction here, gets that nice browning. I guess it's not really a reaction. I have to look it up. But similar, I think it is. Really helps impart an additional deep savory flavor. Yeah, now that the pan's going, this is much faster. Now it's find the side that's not yet cooked. The game. So as you can see here, some of these have much fewer sides than the others, so it's totally fine to start pulling them off if you think they're going to overcook. I feel like overcooked egg just tastes really not great. This is a real good workout for your wrists, getting all sorts of dexterity movement. And throw them around for fun if you want. Why not? Alright. I think this is going to be pretty much the last round here. I'll give that a little bit more on the other side. Let's see. There you are. There you are. Really balance that one up there. Okay. So we're nearing the finishing touches here. Perfect. As you can see, these are now gloriously lightly toasted on every single side. They look and smell amazing, and I am certain it's going to taste amazing too. Cool. So now we'll just go around and pull them off onto the plate here. I'm doing this one by one because that's the order which I cook them in. And it'll just make sure that they're all getting the time they need to finish. As you can see here, the garlic bits that are in the pan are not burnt because we've been keeping it low and slow, but we're still getting that gorgeous, gorgeous browning of the French toast itself. So I'm just gonna get this all in here now. Cool. This is gonna be a big breakfast. Beautiful. Yeah, let's get those nice little tasty bits in there too. Great. So now while this is still hot, you can throw butter on here if you want. It's a little too rich for me. I'm just gonna throw this straight on top here. Give it a nice little coating. Since this is still warm, it's gonna melt on a bit. There we go. Oh, gorgeous. Like I said, you can throw some extra herbs on top if you want. I'm just gonna put this little sprig here. And ta-da! That's it. Let's get a beautiful shot in the sun. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Now let's try a bit. Mmm. Yeah, that is. I'm gonna have a mark from this on my forehead, don't I? Don't mind. Don't mind the lady behind the camera. This is delicious. This actually might be the best I've ever made. It is garlicky, it's savory. It's not overpowering though. It's got a little sweetness from that butter, because the butter browned in the pan. The fresh herbs really come through as well. And then that cheese is just like a little bit of extra decadence, bringing it all together. Make this breakfast, impress someone with it. You will not be disappointed. And as you can see, it's really straightforward. Nothing particularly challenging about it. The hardest thing was monitoring the stove and flipping the little pieces. You can give this to someone as breakfast in bed because it's nice and easy to eat. It doesn't require a knife or anything. All right, I'm gonna put this down so you don't just watch me eat my entire breakfast. And that's it. So thank you for joining me for the first quick bite, quick dish. There we go, quick dish. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Like and subscribe and push the little notification bell, all those things, whatever. Happy to have you join me again. All right, bye.